Welcome to a week in the life of a training actor who's also training to do a marathon. I won't go into too much detail about what I did each day, but I'll try and cover all the classes just for anyone who's interested in what the actual day-to-day looks like. Week started off quite poorly though with a dentist appointment, but I also got a run in which made me feel a lot better. So on a Monday we don't start till 10:30 and we got movement first thing. Then for the rest of the day we had our project and then I had an evening rehearsal for the LIPA Fringe show. I'll include a few clips about what that project is, but basically we are making a devised piece based on the work of LIPA, who is an incredible mixed media, live digital, multi-global, incredible performance company. I did find that when recording all of these clips, a lot of my days look the same because it's either classes, a run, or learning lines. So if you see repetitions, I promise you they're on different days, but also I do like to juggle as well, so you might see a few juggling clips in there. Tuesday we started off with movement again, which is always a brutal session because it is an incredibly hard workout, the session that we have on that day. I won't say who it's with, you'll find out if you come to LIPA. And then more projects. Spent about 20 hours a week on this project, especially as we're nearing the performance date, so we're just finalising everything, getting everything blocked, and now we're doing run-throughs. You'll see a few clips of us outside in the pub during the day. We were not at the pub drinking, we were collecting sounds, we were making sort of a soundscape for our project, and obviously that required field research. As part of our project this term, 20% of it is sort of like a development portfolio over the year. And so we have a session on Wednesday that sort of covers what we need to do for that. And we've been asked to do something creative with it. They basically don't want a standard essay. So I'm making a mockumentary style film, which incorporates loads of film genres like Whiplash. And I've got a good vision of what it's going to be. And I hope it turns out as well as it is in my head. We also have our level leader meeting on a Wednesday, which we have every week. And basically this time our course leader was giving us updates about what the next year is going to look like, all the exciting things that we're going to be doing, especially since our course is the first one ever at LIPA. So obviously we have no one to look at to see what we're actually going to be doing. So it was good to find out a lot of that extra stuff. Thursday we had even more project, and then in the evening I got to see Caucasian Chalk Circle, which was the Masters group performance at LIPA, and they were absolutely phenomenal. If you guys have got this far, you'll know that the Masters are very special. They were the first people I met at Freshers, and they're going to be leaving soon, and that's not okay. But very proud of them. They did a brilliant show. Friday, we had more project work with only one session sort of split in the middle, and that was accent, which accent is my worst skill to date. Hopefully I improve over the next 3 years. For accent, we've essentially picked a monologue, picked sort of a speaker, so then you can pick either General American or RP. I've gone for RP to practice with. But yeah, each week we've been getting up in the space, sort of delivering the speech with RP, getting feedback and notes, and then going back and practicing it. And then eventually we'll have to self-tape it and send it off to her as like a mock audition style thing. And then Saturday, obviously no classes, but I went for a long run, 10K, got a PB, woo! And then I went to the cinema to see the new Michael Jackson film. I gave it a 3 stars, but an extra 0.5 because it had Miles Teller in it, and I love Miles Teller. I just don't think it was my style of film. I don't know. I like the music, but I don't think it wasn't my thing. So a bit more about the project that we're doing since I've spent 20 hours a week doing it. It's a collection of poems called Rabbit Box, or no, collection of poems, not the right word. Sort of it's like a book, but it's written in poetic format. We've taken that, we've adapted it to work on stage, and then we've used techniques by LIPA by incorporating sort of live camera feed. We've got presentation, music, because a lot of our class is quite musical. We also do a lot of shadow puppet play. I think I've got a clip in here, you might see it, using shadows to tell different parts of the story, and it's really interesting. And then for LIPA Fringe, I'm doing a show called Man Overboard. Essentially, I was at a Scratch Network event and I was given a short section of this play and I really enjoyed it. And I'd already had a spot at the Fringe and I was writing something of my own for it. But basically, I thought I wouldn't have time to finish writing it and do it justice with the story I wanted to tell and also learn it in time. So I asked the writer if I could do the full thing for the show and she said yes. Sent me the full thing. It was brilliant. Had a lot of the similar themes that I was writing anyway, so it worked out perfect. So it's a 15-page monologue, which I've just been trying to cram in as much as possible. And while obviously having classes where I've had to memorize poems, monologues, and then obviously my lines for the project, it's been quite difficult, but definitely a test. As I'm recording this, it is the 17th of May. The show is on the 5th of June, and I have 5 pages left. So I feel like that is plenty of time. And then obviously I need to touch on the marathon training. So I recently did a half marathon, and then because I'm crazy, I want to take it a step further and do a full one. But obviously training for that while at drama school is definitely a challenge, but I feel like if you want to do something, you definitely can. So try and do bare minimum 3 runs a week, a 5K, just because everyone likes the distance of 5K, a speed session, and then a long run. And then I'm also trying to stick to the 10% rule, which is basically don't increase your distance by more than 10% a week. So I'm trying to really stick to that really hard. For the past 4 weeks, I've done it perfectly, 10% exactly each week, and I actually feel the benefit. So it is working and it does work. And finally, I mentioned earlier that I'm on the LIPA Contemporary Performance course, and we're the first one ever. So if you are applying or thinking of applying, I'm happy to answer any questions about it. Essentially, we have the same core training as all the other courses. So the acting course, the screen course, we do the same training as them, but then our projects are different. So if you're on just BA acting, for example, recently they were giving American scene studies to do. And while they had scene study, we would sort of adapt text and devise our own things, write our own sections of it, and add different interesting elements that are non-naturalistic, more heightened. They might include music or, again, like I mentioned, live digital. So yeah, if you sort of want to make your own work and be creative out the box sort of thing and not be sort of restricted to a text, a contemporary performance course is definitely sort of the vibe that you want to go for, because I think you'd really enjoy it. Another thing I need to plan into my days now is it's nearly summer and we have 15 weeks off, and I feel that is so much time off, so I actually need something to do that's productive. I need to look for a job is probably what's going to happen by being productive. Ideally, this would be in a theatre or have some shadow experience in a theatre or a company like that, but most realistically, it's probably going to be a regular job that I'm going to look for. Another thing I've just realised is it's 10 days till that project, so I definitely need to learn my lines for that ASAP. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. This was a little insight into what my week is like. I might do some more in-depth day in the lives of, but for now, a week is enough. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing, and all of my links are in my bio for my socials, where I post sort of short videos every single day. Thank you.